Hello, today I'm going to create an Android virtual machine on GCP. I'm on my console. I'm going to go to create instance. Over OS and storage, I'm going to change. And on operating system, I'm going to select Android. But I don't have it. How can I have an Android virtual machine? Instead of creating one using ClickUps, I'm going to go to Cloud Shell and I'm going to create one using a gcloud command. Yes, I'm creating an Ubuntu machine, and be sure that you're creating one with enabled nested virtualization. The machine has been created. I'm going to go to VM instances and I'm going to SSH into it. I'm in, and I'm going to transform this Ubuntu VM into an Android virtual machine. First, update and upgrade your machine. Now I'm going to install all the tools that I need in order to emulate an Android phone inside my virtual machine. Now I have to download Android SDK. I'm going to make a directory, Android SDK. I'm going to cd into it. Inside this directory, I'm going to download Android SDK, and I'm going to unzip it. I'm going to rename CMD line 2s to CMD line 2s temp. I'm going to make a directory CMD line 2s, and I'm going to move CMD line 2s temp to CMD line 2/latest. All done. I'm going to add this path to my bashrc, and I'm going to add the path to my emulator to bashrc as well. And I'm going to source bashrc, and I'm going to install SDK manager licenses. All done. I installed the SDK packages. Now I can run the SDK manager. All done. I'm going to switch back to my home directory, and I'm going to clone the noVNC repository. VNC captures the Android emulator's virtual display and streams it over VNC so we can see and interact with it remotely. Now I'm going to configure an Nginx reverse proxy so that I can access my service over port 80. Basically what I'm doing here is that when I access my external IP over HTTP on port 80, I'm going to be redirected to the service running on my localhost on port 6080. Exit inside this file, restart Nginx, and I'm going to write a script that is going to start our Android machine. I'm going to use a virtual display column 1 so all graphical apps render into memory instead of a physical monitor. Then I'm going to create a fake virtual monitor on column 1 and I'm going to start a lightweight window manager. Then I'm going to start my Android emulator. And after waiting for the emulator to initialize, I'm going to capture the virtual display on column 1 and I'm going to expose it locally via VNC. Then I'm going to launch noVNC to convert the VNC stream into WebSockets for browser access. Exit this file, give it execution permissions, and run it on the background. Now I'm going to go back to my console. I'm going to get my external IP, open a new tab, and navigate to http:// my external IP /vnc.html. I'm going to hit connect. I have an Android phone running inside my Ubuntu VM on an emulator. And on this phone, I'm going to go to Google Chrome, go to YouTube, search for our awesome channel. Here am I, and I can watch a video inside my Android emulator running on my Ubuntu machine inside GCP. Now you have an Android virtual machine on GCP and you can use it for penetration testing, application testing, CI/CD pipelines testing, anything you want. If you, for any reason, wanted to have an Android VM on GCP, that's one way to do it.